Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me by the fireside, him and his pipe. At the moment I'm just having a nice mug of coffee from Harriet Pipes. Well, the cup's from Harriet Pipes, of course, and the coffee is just from over there. Cheers, very nice to see you. I happened to nip over to see the lovely Julia, my partner, earlier this evening, and as I drove back it said 8 degrees centigrade. I thought, yes, it's getting cold now, isn't it? It's getting cold. So, on with the fire. Well, I do actually have the fire on all year round, of course, which not all day, all year round. And I've explained that many times. I might even put another log on the fire. It's always good, isn't it? Let's get one on. There we go. How about that? Marvellous. So, let's get the old pipe smoking, pipes smoke. Let's start that again, shall we? And take two. Let's get the old pipe smoking, shall we? Yes. Now today I'm smoking a pipe. I don't know whether I've shown you this one. This is something called golden pipe. And a friend recommended it. I think I have smoked it before. I'm just trying to see what it says on here. Golden pipe, Briar something or other. 171. Anyway, it's got a lovely sort of tree trunky shape with a plateau and a mouthpiece. And it's a nice deep, look at that, it's a deep old smoke, this one. And I do like it because when you're in the mood for a nice long contemplative smoke, you want a deep old pipe. A lot of my pipes are small. And they go, it seems to go very quickly, either that or I'm puffing too quickly. But I keep talking to people and they see me smoking the pipe and they say, Richard, you know, I'm toying with the idea. And I say, well, you know, it's your decision. I don't want to influence you in any way, but I enjoy it. And the slowing down nature of it, and the contemplative nature, the cogitation, the sitting by the fire with a nice whiskey or a brandy or, I don't know, a good port or a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, some lemonade or raw milk, all those sort of things. They're the sort of things that I would love to do. And of course, when it's cold, it's a lovely thing just to mellow, isn't it? Mellow. Forget about your worries and get the old pipe lit. So I'm going to do that. Now, I'm going to be smoking some more of Boswell's Northwood, which is what I was smoking the other day. And I really like this one. Now, I don't know if it's available here in Britain. If it is, somebody must tell me where to get it from. But that's what I'm going to smoke because I haven't got through it yet. And you know what I'm like? I don't like having too many things open at the same time. So I'm going to shove that in. The old thing, and I say shove, I mean fill it up. I do mean get the tobacco in there. Now you may remember those leaves that were given to me and Julia by some of our Irish viewers, and thank you so much. I need to get a humidifier, I believe, in order to get those working properly. I just haven't had a moment to do anything, but I was showing them to a friend of mine who popped round today to pick up a copy of Biggleswick, the town that wouldn't comply. He lives in Worthing, and so he sort of said, oh, I'll just nip round and get one. If I may, I'll give you the cash and we'll do the deal out of the viewing eyes of you know, those that might worry about it. And I said, yes, good idea, come on in. Anyway, some shekels were passed across, palms were crossed with silver and all that sort of stuff. And he bought the book. And he was another one of these people who said, ooh, I take these knickknacks, I think they're called, and they are nicotine tablets. And I said, well, I can't be bothered with all those sort of things. I like the genuine stuff from the leaf itself. Anyway, I showed him the leaves and he was very impressed he was, as indeed I was. So we've got to get that done. Anyway, let's get this lit. I'd enjoy some of the lovely flavour. I do like this, I don't know what it is. But I would like some more. I don't know where you get it from. I'll have to check around. So I need to, oh, my Essie. That's not an Essie. That's the Essie. This is a Zippo and it's running out of fuel. There we go. Now, I had a letter in the post. I think it was yesterday or the day before came. I've had a few letters, actually. But this one was from a fellow pipe smoker, a fellow flipe smoker. No, that's not quite right. A fellow pipe smoker whose name is Neil. Thank you, Neil, for getting in touch. And he said, I like wood-burning stoves. I like sitting there with my pipe, keeping warm. And I like a good whiskey and things like that, all of those sort of things, he said. And I don't like those health warnings on the tins. He also mentioned those government health warnings, which you don't see on any other products in such huge, huge letters that are supposed to scare you rigid from trying to enjoy a substance which is perfectly legal and enjoyable to partake in. So he said, I've been in the workshop and I've been scratching and I've tried methylated spirits. I've tried all sorts of things to get the stuff off. And he says, they don't want you getting it off. Well, Julia managed to find the ideal way of doing it, and that's with a hairdryer. So if you don't like them, use a hairdryer. So thank you very much, Neil. But he also, let's get this going. He said, Richard, I gather you continually lose your temper. And I said, yes, I do. And I've got the one from lovely Chris, which is on a chain, which is on another pair of trousers. I ought to chain it to a waistcoat, really, shouldn't I? That would be good. Oh, what's this? Just found something in a bucket. I don't know what that is. It's a funny thing. I have no idea what that is. It's like a computer chip. It just found it in this. Somebody must have given it to me. I don't know what it is. I'll have to investigate that. I thought it was an After Eight. Do you remember those mints? I don't know if you can still get them. They're sort of square-shaped mints with chocolate on the outside. After Eights. I forget who makes them now. Used to love them as a kid. Used to munch them up. Anyway, never mind that. Neil, very kindly, Julia and I got one each. Julia's got a separate one. This, can you see it? It's a tamper made from brass. I don't know whether he has machined it himself or whether it's from something else, but he said he's got a lot more suitable things like this in his workshop, I think he said. I'll have to reread the letter. It's a nice long letter, by the way. I do like getting letters. Do you like getting letters? Talked about letters before. It's that very personal touch, isn't it? And that is why, in my book, Biggleswick, which is available, richard@vobes.com. Email me if you want a copy. It isn't the pipe smoking book, by the way, although there is pipe smoking in it. You'll be very thrilled to know that there is a lot of pipe smoking in the book. This makes a brilliant tamper, by the way. It's got some places to put your fingers and your thumb. Solid brass. He also sent some Eramore mixture flake, which I shall try, and some, I don't know what it was, but some sort of brass cleaner to keep this golden looking or brassy looking. Can you see it? It's a beautiful thing. It's very lovely. If I hold it really close, it'll go out of focus, you see, and out of the light. But if you drop it, I'm not going to, but if you do, it'll make a big clap. I'll try it. I don't want to damage it because brass should be all right, shouldn't it? I'll do it from a small height. Yeah, you'll hear that, wouldn't you? You'll hear that all right. That is brilliant. I don't know if that's his own invention, whether it's a one-off or whether he's flogging them 9/10s to the dozen, but there it is. I was saying something about the book then. Yes, there's plenty of pipe smoking, so if you want a copy, richard@vobes.com. I think that was really what I was saying, wasn't it? Yeah, something like that. Look at the fire. Look at that. Now, last time I was cooking dinner, and I'm cooking it the same. I've got a minute steak, but instead of frying it, I am baking it. mainly because same reasons before. I'm recording this the night before it goes out, and it's in there. I may have to get it out again. I may have to do that old business. Sorry about that. Do you like the waistcoat, by the way? It's a bit loud, isn't it? It's a bit loud, a bit racy. I came back in from the cold, as I mentioned just now, and I thought to myself, golly, dash it all. I'm a bit busy tomorrow. Will I manage to get the pipe smoking video done in the morning before? No, I won't. Will I manage to get it done this evening? Well, I haven't eaten yet, so I need to do that. And it was like, well, I'm a bit tired. And I had a woolly jumper on because I was all dressed for the outside. And I thought, what will energise me? What will energise me to be able to talk to you in a way which is nonsensical, of course, but full of energy? Because I was sort of like this. But, and I thought, I know, I'll put on that bright waistcoat. And do you know, I think colours, and I interviewed a colour therapist once on my other channel, colours do influence you. What is your favourite colour and why? What draws you to that particular colour? What is it about the hue? And do you get energy from it? Does it make you full of beans? Or is your favourite colour more peaceful? Does it transform you into a more relaxing person? Does it make you more assertive? I'm giving positive adjectives to these rather than any negative ones. I mean, you could sort of say red for anger, but red can be, aggressive, but it could be assertive as well to get you out of trouble. Perhaps you've bought yourself a red car, as many people do, and that sort of, does that change you as a driver? Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever thought that when you have a car and you change it for a different colour, has that sort of made you a different type of driver? Does a green car change you from, say, a yellow or a blue or a red car? Colour is a very important thing in our lives, and I think it used to be more important because getting the dye to colour something was a luxury, an absolute luxury in the past. And some colours, purple for instance, was, I think at one point, was ruled that the peasants were not allowed to have a certain colour. Now, quite how you would actually carry out that and police it, I don't know. But it was something like that, you know, it was reserved for royalty or for the priesthood, if I remember. Maybe Father John knows a bit about this. But at one time, I think that was the sort of thing you couldn't have a certain colour because it was a colour of rank. But now, colour is sort of so ubiquitous, isn't it? But you noticed so many people clothe themselves in drab, not only in drab clothes, but in drab colours. And doesn't that affect their personality? It's lovely and warm here. It's lovely and warm. Very lovely. I'm just going to close that down a bit. I think it does. I think the colour really changes their mood, changes their personality, and I think it's a very important thing. It's very important I turn my minute steak over. Because although it's called a minute steak, it depends how hot the oven is. The Essie hasn't been on that long. Now, I'm going to try it. No, it's not ready yet. I like my meat well and truly cooked. I'm not one of these, you know, let the cow pass by the oven type touch people. I like it well and truly cooked. This is not how I normally cook on my bum. I don't normally cook like this. Oh, it's falling apart. It was frozen as well, so that doesn't help. You might say, is that it? Is that all you've got? You poor sap. Well, no, not really. I'm going to stick some potatoes on and some carrots and cabbage. But I wanted to get that defrosted, really, and then I'll just set it aside and reheat it whilst I'm editing all of this. I don't want to eat too late. I'm enjoying this tobacco. This is immensely satisfying, this particular blend. It's Boswell's Northwoods, 2-ounce tin from America. But is it available over here? Is it available here? That's the question. I want to know. Cars. Let me talk about cars. It's not a subject that I'm very familiar with, really. Cars. My first car was a Morris Traveller. You know, with a starting handle. No, really. When I was a kid, we had a Morris Traveller. And when I learnt to drive, after I passed, I had a Morris Traveller. Loved it. Absolutely. You know, for me, it's the best car ever made. Other people will think of Ferraris or Porsches or all sorts of other vehicles. But to me, the Morris Traveller, you know, the one with the wood on the back, absolutely I would have that like that. Click of the fingers, I would have one. Except for the fact that I couldn't go onto my farm. It's funny, isn't it? Here, give my land, I'm on the farm now, you know. Well, my little piece of wonderful God's earth that Julia and I are attempting at this stage to farm. Attempting. I mean, we're novices. We're making mistakes. We're having a ball. It's just so enjoyable. It's lovely. And hard bloody work, but I recommend it. Anyway, that's for the other channel to talk about. Not talking about that. This is more a rumination of life. And I want to talk about cars and colour. There is a colour that a lot of people seem to be buying cars of, and to me, I cannot comprehend, ladies and gentlemen, why anyone would buy a car of that colour. I just cannot comprehend. And this is this sort of sludge grey. It's a very nondescript colour. It is very grey. It's very sludge-like, and it exudes nothing. Nothing to me, nothing good comes out of it. It sort of disappears. And at the moment, with, you know, autumn, where we are, and on short days and early nights and things like that, when it's getting dark, it's very hard to see. Yes, they've got these massively overbright LEDs now in the cars, haven't they? So you can't see the car, you just see the headlights honking their way towards you, like that. Massive, great big. It's so bright, it burns the retina. Have you had that? Have you seen? And then you flash them. You say, turn your blooming lights down. And then they flash you back and you realise that isn't even their main beam. Have you had that? I have. Many a time down the country roads on the way to the farm. Hooar, get off my land, you beggar. Not so many bright, colourful cars these days. A lot of people went in for that fashion of buying silver for a long time, didn't they? Everyone, silver car, another silver car. And they call it silver. I call it grey, but it's not sludge grey like this new colour that's been around for about the last 5 years. And to me, it just adds to the drabness, doesn't it? Don't you think? I mean, life is, for me, is about living. It's about living. Living splendidly if you can. I mean, we have in life a lot of challenges. You know, how much is that tobacco? Really? You're asking me to cough up that for a leaf? Good gracious, man. What do you think it is, gold dust? Yes, there's a lot of challenges in life, but, and they get you down. There's a lot of problems to be solved. And the problems, I mean, let's face it, if you didn't have problems, you wouldn't need to cogitate. And if you didn't need to cogitate, you wouldn't need a pipe. You see, problem solving, the pipe is the device, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Humble as it is the device to solve those problems is smoking the pipe. It's unavoidable, really. That is the way you solve a problem. Because you get the old nicotine into the old head there, and the brain starts to activate, and ideas start to germinate, and then you can ruminate. And after that, have a nice meal and masticate. That's what we all need. It's grand. But what I was really trying to say is there's a lot of problems in life and they can bring you down. And then if you surround yourself in the wrong sort of colour, I think that does not help. We need a bit of vibrancy. Now, I'm not saying all the time. I'm not talking about everybody, being all colours of the rainbow and prancing around and being, larger than life. We all need those times to mellow and what have you. But a little splash of colour, good colour, quality colour, not everywhere, not sort of, a luminous colours up and down your wall or anything, not sky blue, pink, the yellow dots on. I'm talking about colours, just a hint of colour. And it can be very simple. Like just over here is that light. Now that's a little hint of a nice sort of yellowy glow. And then you've got the orange here, and you've got the yellow here, and you've got the sort of pinky browny colour here, and then the tiles. In my mind, if I was a set dresser, I would say the colours of this video, they all complement each other, and you've got a bit of blue and what have you. Do we live in a complementary world where the colours of us complement? Do you spend time looking at how you dress with your colours? My book, Biggleswick. I think, whether you like the book or not, whether you like the cover or not, I think the colour combination is quite nice, tasteful, and restful on the eyes. You may disagree, of course. And of course, by the way, you're very welcome to disagree with everything I say. Some people feel that when any YouTuber gets on YouTube and says something, it's almost as if they are trying to say, this is the word, and nobody else. No, of course, people are entitled to their opinions. And, if you weren't to venture an opinion of some description, there would be no conversation, would there? No counter opinion. No, well, I agree with you so far, but I don't agree with this, or I completely disagree with you because of that. The culture has changed, though. Have you noticed that? Now you venture an opinion and people are like, well, you're an idiot. You think that? You're an idiot. They can't even go, well, that's an interesting point of view. Politeness, the comments on videos, not just my videos, but any videos. You get people and they seem, why? They get very angry or they get very rude. And you know that these people wouldn't be saying this to your face, in public. They might, in private, come up to your postbox and open it up and go, you are an idiot, you are. But isn't it strange? Online people hiding behind a thing, they suddenly lose their manners. And the world, I think, needs manners. It needs etiquette. It needs, not rules and regulations that are ridiculous and stupid, but it needs, we all got to get on, haven't we? One way or another. There was an old phrase, I think, in Hollywood, I think it was. I don't know how true it is, but it made a lot of sense. Be nice to the people on the way up, because you may well meet them on the way down. And they may be on the way up themselves with big jackboots on at that point. So what I'm saying is sometimes people can say things and then they get into a bit of a difficult situation. And if you're a bit, arsey with them, on the way down when life changes, and it changes for everybody, it's never always the same. And I do try to be as nice as I can to people, and those that disagree with me in a horrible fashion, I just, well, that's fine, your opinion. Anyway, I think opinions matter. And I just think colour matters. And that's why I wanted to bring it up into today's video and say, well, I felt a bit drab as I was, and I thought, no, I'm going to jolly well smoke my pipe and enjoy a little bit of colour. Might all be the same colour, but I'm going to enjoy it. I think my pipe has come to the end, and I think we are close to the end of this video. Now, I know a number of you smoke your pipes along with me when you watch that, and that's very magnanimous. I think that's very laudable. It's very nice, and I enjoy it. It's almost as if you're actually sitting here looking at this buffoon. I know I'm a buffoon. I don't mind being a buffoon. We're really coming to the end of this. Yes, I am a bit of a buffoon. I notice the cat now wants to come in. I said that last time, and every time you start recording, the cat wants to come in. He'll say, I want to go out. Yes, I know you want to go out. No, I want to come in. I know you want to come in, but you've got to, you know, cats have got like, a bit like goldfish, aren't they? They seem to have 2-second memories. Anyway, or 20-second, whatever it is. How did they ever measure the memory of a goldfish? You know, did they have to fill in a form? Very difficult with fins to fill in a form. But I suppose they finished very quickly. Anyway, can't remember what I was talking about. It was all a load of tosh anyway. No, the question I was, those people who smoke along with me, what I was asking, really, is how long do you make your pipe last? Are you somebody who puffs a little bit, you know, piff, puff, and you try to make it last, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that? Or are you somebody who loves a great gust of smoke and billows it out with gusto? That sounds like a gravy mix, but I think that's a different product. Anyway, be interested in your thoughts. Fire is going well. I better go and rescue my minute steak before it turns into charcoal. So thank you so much for watching. And I hope you enjoy it and hope it was raised a titter. And if it didn't, and if you were a bit upset by it in any fashion, just remember, I do honestly believe that on YouTube there are other channels that might be more suited to you. Might be. I mean, I don't know. I don't know your tastes. But anyway, there we are. I hope people enjoyed it and had a little bit of a smile. I'm an entertainer and I try my best. And sometimes I know it's not good enough for some people. It's not good enough, Richard. You're just rubbish. But after doing this for so long, I'm so thick-skinned, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't really care. Well, obviously it doesn't because I keep coming back. Anyway, and I enjoy the pipe and I enjoy talking to you. And I enjoy being a buffoon from sometimes. And why not, for goodness sake? You know, the nice thing about it is I look round and I go, I actually enjoy life. And that's a very good thing. And I'm sure that you do too. And long may that last. Together we can enjoy life reciprocally. Till next time, take care. Toodle pip. Toodle pipe. Bye for now. Is there anything left in this? And Neil, thank you. Thank you so much.